Soon, a daughter arrived, fair as snow, rosy as blood, dark as ebony. Mirror, mirror, tell me, who's the fairest one of all? You, my queen, are the fairest. But as the child grew, she outshone the queen. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest, it is true, but Snow White's 1,000 times fairer. Envy twisted the queen, turning her green. From then on, seeing Snow White chilled her to the bone. Take her to the forest, kill her, bring her lungs and liver. The huntsman did as he was told, but as he raised his knife, she started to cry. Please, huntsman, let me live. I'll flee to the woods, never return. Go then, poor child. Beasts will get you. She was utterly alone in the vast forest. She ran through sharp stones and thorns. Wild beasts leaped, but didn't harm her. Just then, a wild boar appeared. The huntsman killed it, taking its lungs and liver, to give to the queen. As dark fell, she found a little house and went inside. This cottage is so tiny, but so neat and pretty. She was so hungry and thirsty. She ate a bit from each plate, and sipped some wine. Exhausted, she lay on the 7th bed and slept. When it was who sat on my chair, who ate from my plate, who used my fork. Oh my, what a lovely child. Morning came and Snow White woke. She was startled by the 7 dwarfs. My stepmother tried to kill me. The huntsman spared me, so I ran till I found your home. We'll keep our house tidy, cook, make beds, wash, sew, and knit. Stay with us, you'll have everything. She boiled the lungs and liver with salt. The queen ate them, thinking she'd eaten Snow White. Mirror, mirror on the wall, you are fair, it is true, but Snow White, with the dwarfs beyond the mountains, is 1,000 times fairer. She knew the mirror never lied. She realized the huntsman had tricked her. She thought and thought how to kill Snow White. Finally, she disguised her face, dressing as an old peddler, so no one would recognize her. She crossed 7 mountains to the dwarf's home. Good wares for sale, good wares. Hello, good woman. What do you have? I'll buy a lace. Come, child. I'll lace you up right. The old woman laced so tight, Snow White couldn't breathe and fell as if dead. Now your beauty is gone. Soon, the dwarfs returned to find Snow White on the floor. Not moving, not breathing. They picked her up, looking for poison, unlaced her, combed her hair, washed her face. But it didn't work. They laid her on a bier, and the 7 wept for 3 days. We can't bury her in the earth. She looks alive. They made a transparent glass coffin. They placed her inside, wrote her name in gold, and that she was a princess. Then they put the coffin on the mountain, and one dwarf always watched it. Birds came and wept too. First an owl, then a raven, and a dove. Snow White lay in the coffin a long time, unchanged, appearing asleep. Then a prince entered the woods and stopped at the dwarf's house. He saw the coffin on the mountain. Let me have the coffin. I'll give you anything. We won't sell it for all the gold. Then give it to me as a gift. I need to see Snow White. I'll cherish her. The dwarfs took pity and gave him the coffin. His servants carried it. They stumbled on a stump, and the poisoned apple piece flew from her throat. White as snow, red as blood, black as ebony. Mirror, mirror on the wall, you, my queen, are fairest. Snow White, with the 7 dwarfs, is still 1,000 times fairer. Her envious heart finally rested, as much as it could. The dwarfs returned to find Snow White on the ground. Nobres escaped. They lifted her. She was cold. They looked for poison, unlaced her, combed her hair, washed her. But it was no use. They laid her on a bier, and the 7 wept for her for 3 days. We can't bury her in the ground. She still looks so alive. They made a glass coffin, placed her inside, and wrote in gold, Snow White, a princess. Her coffin placed on a mountain, guarded by a dwarf always near. Birds mourned Snow White weeping, an owl first, then a raven, and finally a dove. A prince, exploring the woods, found the dwarf's home. He saw the coffin on the mountain, holding the beautiful Snow White. He pleaded with the dwarfs for it, offering anything he owned. But they refused him. "Let me have the coffin," he begged. "I'll give you anything you want. I can't live without seeing her." The dwarfs felt pity and gave him the coffin. As they carried it, one tripped on a stump. The shock dislodged the apple piece from her throat. Snow White revived. She opened her eyes, sat up. "Where are we?" she asked the prince. "I'm with you, and I'm taking you home." Snow White rose and went with him to his kingdom. They married and lived happily ever after. The wicked queen faced punishment, forced to dance in red-hot shoes until death. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? You, my queen, are the fairest. But Snow White, with the 7 dwarfs, is 1,000 times fairer. Her jealous heart found some peace, as much as a jealous heart can. "Heavens, where am I? I love you more than anything." He told her his story. "Come to my father's palace. You'll be my wife." Snow White agreed, went with him, and their wedding was grand. Snow White's wicked stepmother was invited too. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all? You, my queen, are fair. It's true. But the young queen is 1,000 times fairer. She cursed and was so terrified, she lost control. She initially refused to go, but couldn't rest and had to see the young queen.